Namaste. In the continuation of the modern dance schools and companies, we are going to look into the Merce Cunningham Dance Company. Cunningham formed the Merce Cunningham Dance Company MCDC at the Black Mountain College in 1953. Guided by its leader's radical approach to space, time, and technology, the company has forged a distinctive style reflecting Cunningham's techniques and illuminating the near limitless possibilities for human movement. The original company included dancers Caroline Brown, Viola Farber, Paul Taylor, and Remy Charplick, and musicians John Cage and David Tudor. In its early years, MCDC toured in a Volkswagen bus driven by John Cage with just enough room for 6 dancers, the 2 musicians, and the stage manager, who was often Robert Rauschenberg. MCDC's first international tour in 1964, which included performances in the Western and Eastern Europe, India, Thailand, and Japan, solidified a constant stream of national and international bookings. In the years since, MCDC has continued to tour the world to critical and popular acclaim, serving as an ambassador for contemporary American culture, not only dance, but contemporary American culture. From 1971 till its dissolution in 2012, the company was based in the West Berth artist community in West Village. For a time, Cunningham himself lived a block away at the 107th Bank Street with John Cage. Recent performances and projects include a 2-year residency at Dia Beacon, where MCDC performed events, Cunningham's site-specific choreographic colleges in the galleries of Richard Serra, Dan Flavin, and Sol Letwit, among others. In 2007, MCDC premiered Zover, Cunningham's final collaboration with Rauschenberg at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. In 2009, MCDC premiered Cunningham's newest work, Nearly 90, at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. The company concluded its farewell tour on December 13, 2011. Merce Cunningham also came to India in 1982 and performed in major cities. He is one of the legendary, and his association with John Cage for music was outstanding. Since its founding, Merce Cunningham Dance Company has frequently collaborated with visual artists, architects, designers, and musicians. From the company's beginning, Cunningham collaborated with John Cage, its musical advisor and Cunningham's life partner, from the 1940s until Cage's death in 1992. Cage had the greatest influence on his practice. Together, Cunningham and Cage proposed a number of radical innovations. The most famous and controversial of these concerned the relationship between dance and music, which they concluded may occur in the same time and space, but should be created independently of one another. They also made extensive use of chance procedures, abandoning not only musical forms, but narratives and other conventional elements of dance compositions, such as cause and effect, and climax and anticlimax. For Cunningham, the subject of his dances was always dance itself. After his death, John Cage was succeeded in the role of music director by David Tudor. Since 1995, MCDC, as it is called, has been under the music direction of Takehisa Kosugi. MCDC has commissioned more work from contemporary composers than any other dance company. Its repertory includes works by musicians ranging from John Cage and Gordon Mumma to Gavin Bryars, and even contemporary bands like Radiohead, Sigur Rós, and Sonic Youth. The company has also collaborated with an array of visual artists and designers. Robert Rauschenberg, whose famous combines reflect the approach he used to create decor for a number of MCDC's early works, served as the company's resident designer from 1954 through 1964. Jasper Jones followed as artistic advisor from 67 till 1980, and Mark Lancaster from 1980 through 1984. The last advisors to be appointed were William Anastasi and Dov Bradshaw in 84. Other artists who have collaborated with Merce Cunningham Dance Company include Daniel Arsham, Takita Dean, Liz Phillips, Rei Kawakubo, Roy Lichtenstein, Bruce Newman, Ernesto Neto, Frank Stella, Benedetta Tagliabue, and Andy Warhol. Another famous company is Paul Taylor Dance Company. It is a contemporary dance company formed by Paul Taylor, an American choreographer of the 20th century. One of the early touring companies of American modern dance, the company has performed in more than 50 cities in 62 countries and still spends more than half of each performance season touring in American cities. Paul Taylor originally performed in the companies of Merce Cunningham, Martha Graham, and George Balanchine, but founded his own Paul Taylor Dance Company in 1954. Dancers, choreographers who emerged from his company include Twyla Tharp, David Parsons, Laura Dean, Dan Wagner, Elizabeth Keane, Christopher Gillis, Santa Driver, Amy Marshall, and Leela York. Twyla Tharp joined the Paul Taylor Dance Company in 1963 and 2 years later formed her own company. Christopher Gillis joined in 1976. He was a member until his death in 1993. Betty Lee Jong joined the Taylor Company in 1962. Noted for her strong stage presence and long line, she was Paul's favorite dancing partner and, as rehearsal director, has been his right arm for the past 51 years. She finished her active dance career in 1985. The company has appeared in public broadcast programs 9 times. In 1999, the PBS American Master Series aired Matthew Diamond's Oscar-nominated documentary about Paul Taylor's and his company, Dance Makers. In 2005, it was amongst 406 New York City arts and social service institutions to receive part of a $20 million grant from the Carnegie Corporation, which was made possible through a donation by New York City Mayor Michelle Bloomberg. The Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre, that is AADT, is a modern dance company based in New York. It was founded in 1958 by choreographer and dancer Alvin Ailey. It is made up of 30 dancers, led by the artistic director Robert Bettel and associate artistic director Masazumi Chaya. Alvin Ailey and a group of young black modern dancers first performed at New York 92nd Street Young Men's Hebrew Association under the name Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre in March 1958. At this point in time, Alvin Ailey was the company's director, choreographer, and principal dancer. The company started as an ensemble of only 7 dancers and many guest choreographers. Following their first performance, which included in Alvin Ailey's blue suits, the company traveled on what were known as the station wagon tours in 1960s. The AAADT became a residence company of the 51st Street YWCA's Clark Center for the Performing Arts. It was during this period that Ailey choreographed his famous work Revelations, a character dance done to traditional music. In 1962, Ailey changed his all-black dance company into a multiracial company, believing that there was a kind of reverse chauvinism to anything that is all black. In that same year, the company was chosen to tour the Far East, Southeast Asia, and Australia as part of President John F. Kennedy's President's Special International Program for Cultural Presentations. AAADT was the first black company to travel for Kennedy's program. Judith Jamison, a star of the company for 15 years, joined the company in 1965. Alvin Ailey established a school in 1969, the same year that the company moved to Brooklyn Academy of Music. Both company and school relocated to 229 East 59th Street in Manhattan a year later to a renovated church building. In April of that year, a financial crisis caused Ailey to issue a statement that the dissolution of the company might make place. The crisis abated, however, and in 1971, Alvin Ailey Dance Theatre made its first performance at the New York City Center, where it is currently the resident company. Associate Artistic Director Masazumi Chaya joined the company in 1972. Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre, that is AAADT, and the Alvin Ailey Repertory Ensemble, later renamed Alvin II, and the Ailey School, relocated in 1980 to 4 new studios in a building on Broadway. The company celebrated its 25th anniversary 3 years later. Alvin Ailey died on December 1, 1989. Before his death, he selected Judith Jamison to succeed him as artistic director, and the entire Ailey organization moved to 211 West 61st Street on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York. The Ailey School and nearby Fordham College at Lincoln Center, Fordham University, have since affiliated to offer a Bachelor of Fine Arts BFA degree program in dance. Many arts organizations have experienced stresses upon the death of their founding artistic directors. Many people have contributed to the success of AAADT, but the work of Michelle Kaiser, the executive director from 1930 to 1993, is often cited as a model of successful non-profit performing arts management. Following tours in Russia, France and Cuba in the 1990s, as well as residency in South Africa in 97, the Alvin Ailey Dance Foundation announced in 2001 that a new dance complex was to be developed. Ground was broken on the building site in Manhattan the following year. The company and school moved into the new building, named the John Weil Center for Dance in 2004. The company toured Russia and the United Kingdom the following year. In 2007, AAADT was amongst the 530 New York City arts and social service institutions to be receiving a part of $20 million grant from the Carnegie Corporation, made possible through a donation by then New York City Mayor Michelle Bloomberg. The Ailey School is an accredited institutional member of the National Association of Schools of Dance (NASD). The Alvin Ailey School is recognized by the USA Department of Education as an institute of higher education and is eligible to participate in the Title IV programs. The Ailey School is recognized by the USA Veteran Administration as an eligible school to participate in veterans educational benefit programs. The Ailey School is authorized under federal law to enroll non-immigrant alien students. Dennis Jefferson was selected by Ailey to head the school when it was founded in 1984 and served as its director until her death in 2010. Robert Battle became Ailey's artistic director in 2011. The Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre has performed for an estimated amazing number 23 million people in 48 states as well as in 1 countries on 6 continents. I mean, this is mind-boggling data for any company. Among these performances are included 2 South African residencies. The company has often been an ambassador of American culture, starting with President John F. Kennedy's Southeast Asia tour program. The troupe toured Southeast Asia and Australia in 1962 and performed in the International Arts Festival in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1963. They performed at the first World Festival of Negro Arts in Dakar, Senegal in 1966. The same year, AAADT performed at the Edinburgh Festival, earning awards for Best Choreographer and Best Company. They were also awarded the Best Male Dancer at the International Dance Festival in Paris in 1970, and the same year that they did a 6-city tour of the USSR. The company and its dancers and artistic staff have been recognized as cultural ambassadors numerous times, as in the 2001 awarding of the National Medal of Arts to both Judith Jamison and Alvin Ailey Dance Foundation. Founder Alvin Ailey created more than 79 dances for his company during his tenure. He also maintained, however, that the company was not solely a repository for his choreography. Hence, AAADT has a repertory of more than 200 works by more than 70 choreographers, including such choreographers as Ulysses Dove, Karole Armitage, George Faison, Yuri Sens, Elisa Monte, Tolly Betty, Catherine Dunham, and Twyla Tharp, whose work, the Golden Section, excerpted from her larger ballet, The Catherine Wheel, entered AADT's repertory in 2006. The company's popularity comes from its theatrical extroverted style of dancers with strong personalities and muscular skill. Yet, the majority of AAADT's pieces have not held the stage for more than a few seasons, and comparatively few have managed to reach critical acclaim. However, the company keeps Alvin Ailey's works, including Revelations 1960, Night Creature 1974 and Cry 71 in continuous performance. Memoria was one of Alvin Ailey's balletic pieces with long lines and a clear technical style different from his usual jazz character style of swirling petals, strong driving arm movements, huge jumps and thrusting steps. This dance was later adapted into the repertoire of Royal Danish Ballet. Cry is a three-part, 20-minute solo created for Judith Jamison. It was meant to pay homage to all black women and can be seen as a journey from degradation to pride, defiance and survival. Cry has great physical and emotional demands on both performer and the audience. Battle has expanded the company's repertoire in significant ways, adding works by established choreographers such as Garth Fagan, Jiri Kailian, Ryan McGregor, Ohad Naharin and Paul Taylor, and commissioning new dance from contemporary choreographers including Kyle Abraham and Azure Barton. In 2011, Battle also established a new directions choreography lab to nurture emerging artists. The Catherine Dunham Company, a troupe of dancers, singers, actors and musicians, was the first American African modern dance company. It descended from Ballet Negri, a student troupe founded by Catherine Dunham, which later became the Negro Dance Troupe. The company had successful runs on Broadway and in other major American cities. Beginning in the 1940s, the Dunham took her troupe on a series of highly acclaimed world tours. Her performance with her group at the Windsor Theatre may very well be an historic occasion, for certainly never before in all efforts of recent years to establish the Negro dance as a serious medium. The Dunham Company helped launch the career of many African American performers of the day. Dunham alumni include Alvin Ailey, Rosalie King, Arthur Kitt and Walter Nix. Today, you can find classes in Dunham technique taught in New York City at both 92nd Street and YMHA and at the Fashion Institute of Technology by former company members Dana McBroom-Mano. McBroom-Mano was a featured dancer in the Metropolitan Opera's production of Aida, choreographed by Catherine Dunham, the first African American choreographer at the Met since Hemsley. Winfield set the dances for the Emperor Jones in 1933. And then let's look at the White Oak Dance Project. It was a dance company founded in 1990 by Mikhail Baryshnikov and Mark Morris to be the touring arm of the Baryshnikov Dance Foundation. The company took the name of Animal Preservation and Land Plantation, made famous by dance supporter Howard Gilman, who built a dance studios on his White Oak Plantation near Jacksonville, Florida, for the company to create its first tour. The studios quickly became the premier location to workshop works being created by many of the world's leading choreographers, The company continued to tour until 2002, allowing the foundation to concentrate on the 2004 opening of the Baryshnikov Arts Center in Manhattan. The company featured alumni of major dance companies and commissioned new pieces from Morris, Paul Taylor, Twyla Tharp, Jeremy Robbins, David Gordon, and others. These are very inspiring histories, informations, and you must be able to understand and comprehend that what goes in building these companies, taking people, taking artists on the world tours, and how much management and how much of hard work that goes beyond creating all such wonderful dance companies. Thank you.